Good morning students, you are with Bindu Chaudhary and we are continuing our book Resources and Development Part 2nd, and in this book we are continuing on our chapter 3rd. The name of the chapter is Minerals and Power Resources. In our part 1st we are discussing about mineral resources, and in this mineral resources we discussed about the different types of minerals: metallic, non-metallic, ferrous, non-ferrous, and where all these minerals found. When we are talking about Sukant and Kiri, they are discussing about the place Dhanbad in Bihar, and where the coal mines are there, where the trucks are taking coals with them. And in the different continents we have studied about the different types of minerals found in those continents, and we are continuing on the same and today in our part 2nd we are taking about the North America part firstly, and after that later on the next continents we are continuing, and the next resource also we will continue in this part. See here, we are talking about the South America continent, and in South America Brazil is the largest producer of high grade iron ore in the world. When there is a categorization of iron ore, then the highest types of ore, highest gradings of the iron ore are available in Brazil. So when we are talking about Chile and Peru are leading producers of copper. Brazil iron ore, Chile and Peru copper, and Brazil and Bolivia are among the world's largest producers of tin also. So in Brazil with iron ore, another what we will find? Yes, another one is what? Tin is there in Brazil. So Brazil is the highest grade producer of iron ore as well as tin. Next one is the South America's one more deposits. For an example, gold, silver, zinc, chromium, manganese, bauxite, mica, platinum, asbestos and diamonds. So in South America these deposits are also in a very high grading and in a very high quantity. When we are talking about the mineral oil, then what? Mineral oil in North America finds in Venezuela, Argentina, Chile, Peru and Colombia. So mineral oil is the different important oil, and this oil found in some parts of North America like this one. And what is the example of another one? See here, when we are talking about the Africa continent, in Africa lots of minerals deposits are there. So one by one we are taking here different types of deposits in Africa. See here, Africa is rich in mineral resources. It is the world's largest producer of diamonds, gold and platinum. Yes, when we are talking about the gold, when we are talking about the diamond and platinum, most of the deposits are in Africa. Okay, and see here, South Africa, Zimbabwe and Zaire produce a large portion of the वर्ल्ड्स गोल्ड. पूरे संसार की हम बात करते हैं बच्चों, तो सबसे ज़्यादा गोल्ड, सबसे ज़्यादा डायमंड, सबसे ज़्यादा प्लेटिनम कहाँ मिलेगा? अफ्रीका में. और जब हम स्पेशली गोल्ड की बात करते हैं बच्चों, देन इन साउथ अफ्रीका, जिम्बाब्वे एंड ज़ेरे, these are the largest producers of the fine gold. The other minerals found in Africa are copper, iron ore, chromium, uranium, cobalt and bauxite. So different types of other minerals are also there. And when we are talking about oil, then oil is found in Nigeria, Libya and Angola. Different, it's okay, Africa is the distant area place, dry place, but lots of minerals are there. These deposits has the best place in all over the world. When we are taking Australia continent, then which minerals found in Australia? See here, we are taking Australia, and Australia is the largest producer of bauxite in the world. It is a leading producer of gold, diamond, iron ore, tin and nickel. It's okay. Main part of producing part is Africa. Students, when we are talking about Kalgoorlie and Gulkardi areas of the western part of Australia, then we found that the largest deposits of golds are there. So gold near about finds in the different continents, and near about the every ladies and gents favorite ornament is also made by what? Made by gold. And when we are continuing on the Antarctica region, which types of golds are there? See here, one by one we are covering. The geology of Antarctica is sufficiently well known to predict the existence of a variety of mineral deposits, some probably in a very large way. And when we are talking about the significant size of deposits, then the best example is coal. Coal found in the Transantarctic mountains, and iron near the Prince Charles Mountains of East Antarctica is forecasted. कहाँ कहाँ पे एंटार्क्टिका में कहाँ कहाँ पे मिल रहा है कोल? सबसे बड़ी बात है, देखिए बच्चों, यह मिल रहा है सबसे पहले कहाँ? ट्रांसएंटार्क्टिक माउंटेन्स में एंड नियर बाय प्रिंस चार्ल्स माउंटेन ऑफ ईस्टर्न एंटार्क्टिका. सो another examples are here. Iron ore, gold, silver and oil are also present in the commercial quantities. What is this commercial quantities? ऐसी quantity में वहाँ पे ये minerals available है जहाँ पर कि उनको हम व्यावसायिक रूप से बेच सकते हैं. Some parts are there where only usable minerals are available, but some parts in the different continents have the largest protection, so they seal that material or minerals from that. So what are the different uses of minerals? How we human beings use all these types of minerals? See here, first one is the important use of the minerals in industries. Yes, in industries different types of minerals are using, and especially when we are talking about the minerals which are used for gems are usually very hard. These are then set in various styles for jewelry. आपने अलग अलग तरह के जेम्स देखे होंगे बच्चों ज्वेलरी के अंदर, और जेम्स में क्या होता है, अलग अलग बहुत ही हार्ड ये मिनरल है और जेम्स का, और ये ज़्यादातर डिफरेंट स्टाइल्स ऑफ ज्वेलरी बनाने में, उनमें फिट करने में काम आता है. Another use is copper's use. Copper is another metal used in the everything from coins to pipes, from a very small size to a big size. Then silicon. Silicon especially used in the computer industries, obtained from क्वार्ट्स. क्वार्ट्स से सिलिकॉन निकाला जाता है, एंड सिलिकॉन स्पेशली यूज्ड इन द कंप्यूटर इंडस्ट्रीज. When we are talking about the aluminium metal, then aluminium obtained from its ore bauxite is used in ऑटोमोबाइल्स. एल्यूमिनियम कहाँ पे यूज आ रहा है? आप पेट्रोल पंप्स पे जाते हैं अपने पेरेंट्स के संग में बच्चों, तो वहाँ पे आप देखिए कि आपको कई ऑटोमोबाइल्स की जो आसपास में दुकानें होती हैं वो भी आपको दिखाई देती हैं, एंड ऑन दैट प्लेस एल्यूमिनियम is in a very large way, in a very different way. Another example is of aeroplanes. In aeroplanes also, in bottling industries, buildings, and even in our kitchens also, in different types of kitchen cookwares, these aluminium is using. आपने देखा ममा कुकर में खाना बनाती हैं, तो कुकर स्टील का भी होता है एंड कुकर एल्यूमिनियम का भी होता है. एंड अदर different types of cookwares are also in our kitchen, and we are using idli oven, we are using bati oven and different types of oven which are made up of एल्यूमिनियम. तो बेस्ट एग्जाम्पल है, आप सब इजीली इसको चेक आउट कर सकते हैं अपनी डे टू डे लाइफ में. बट द मेन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ ऑल दीज मिनरल्स. इट्स ओके, वी आर taking all these from the different types of rocks, igneous rocks, sandy rocks and other rocks, but it's also true that conservation of these minerals are also necessary. So first of all, minerals are a non renewable resource. बार बार इनका नॉन रिन्यूएबल नहीं होगा, यह बात सबसे अच्छी तरह से बच्चों हमें समझनी होगी. देन इट टेक्स थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ईयर. अगर मिनरल की हम बात भी करते हैं, सो इट टेक्स थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ईयर फॉर द फॉर्मेशन and concentration of these minerals, and thousands of year for a single man. No, we have highest 68 years age limit as per the HDI index, so it's not possible for ourselves. So it's better for ourselves to save all these minerals, and the rate of formation is much smaller than the rate at which the humans consume all these minerals. So it's important for human beings to conserve all these types of minerals, and for this process they adopt, reduce, recycle, रीयूज़. सबसे बड़ी बात है कि हमें सबसे कम से कम इन चीज़ों का यूज़ लेना होगा. देन सेकंड, अगर किसी चीज़ का रिसाइकलिंग हो रहा है, सो वी विल डू, एंड इफ़ एनीथिंग is reusing, then it's better for ourselves that we will reuse all these minerals. So this cycling process is important for all of us, and it is also necessary for all of us to reduce wastage in the process of mining, not to waste all these minerals in the mining process. Recycling of metals is also the another way in which the mineral resources can be conserved. So reusing, recycling and reducing the wastage is the most important thing for the conservation of all these types of minerals. The next important resource we are covering here is the power resources. What is these power resources? How we human beings used all these power resources in our day-to-day life? Let's read here. See, this one is the example of Sunny's mother. Sunny's mother begins her day by switching on the geyser. You all know geyser is important in today's life. We all use hot water, and same with the Sunny's mother. Sunny's mother's first day starting, from the starting she slept out, and after that she is switching on the geyser. She irons Sunny's school's uniform before waking him up. और सनी के उठने से पहले तो उनकी मदर क्या करती हैं बच्चों? सनी के जो स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म है उनको आयरन भी कर देती हैं. सो सी power is using in the geyser, C power is using in the iron also. She then rushes to the kitchen to prepare a glass of orange juice from him in the blender. Again, for the blender process, power resource is the important thing to start these blender for making juice and other things. See, Sunny, have you finished your bath? Come and have your breakfast, calls out mother while preparing breakfast on the gas stove for Sunny. This one is the another example. सी अलग अलग चीज़ों को यूज़ करते हुए एक घर का एग्जाम्पल बताया गया है, जहाँ पे जो सनी की मदर हैं, वो मदर जो हैं गीज़र यूज़ कर रही हैं, आयरन प्रेस यूज़ कर रही हैं और ब्लेंडर यूज़ कर रही हैं, मिक्सी यूज़ कर रही हैं, प्लस वो गैस स्टोव का भी यूज़ कर रही हैं, प्लस अपने बेटे को भी, सनी को भी टाइम टू टाइम तैयार होके, नहा के तैयार होके कहने का भी, ब्रेकफास्ट करने का भी कह रही हैं। सो वाइल गोइंग टू स्कूल सनी फॉरगेट्स टू स्विच ऑफ लाइट्स एंड फैंस। आप तो ऐसा नहीं करते हैं बच्चों। You are not careless as Sunny, because Sunny is so much careless. He forgets to switch off lights and fans at house and in school also. So what is our moral duty? It's our moral duty to switch off all the buttons of lights, even fans and even other things. So it's better to save electricity, better to save power resources in our day-to-day life. When mother switches them off, she thinks that life in the cities may be more comfortable, but its dependency on more and more gadgets, all of which consume energy, has led a wide gap between the demands and the supply. It's okay. Sunny's mother took initiative and switched off all these lights and buttons, fans, switches, but she has also one thing in her mind. She thought that it's okay, in the cities lives are so much comfortable, but we have to pay for that. What types of payment? See, we will consume energy in a very wide way, and for this one what happens, the demands and supplies also had a wide gap. Sometimes you know that power cut is there, maybe in the rural areas, maybe in the urban areas. So power cut is there, and you know after power cut हम क्या करते हैं, अरे लाइट ही चली गई है, हम काम कैसे करें, अरे लाइट ही चली गई है, बहुत गर्मी है, फैन कैसे स्टार्ट करें, एसी कैसे स्टार्ट करें. So same condition with this Sunny's mother, she is also thinking in the same way that there is a large gap between the demand and supply of these energy materials. So with the advent of science and technology, the lifestyles are changing very fastly. Power or energy plays a vital role in our lives. We also need power for industries, for agriculture, for transport, for communication and for defense also. So this power supply is necessary. You know, when you are traveling in a train and then train is handled with the electricity button, then what happened if the power cut off? Then but natural, ट्रेन जहाँ पे है वहीं की वहीं खड़ी हो जाएगी. इंडस्ट्रीज, एग्रीकल्चर, all these things runs from the energy, all these things runs from the main power supplies. So it's important for ourselves to save these energy materials. See, power resources may be broadly categorized into two types. First one is the conventional resources and the second one is the non-conventional resources. See, here is the gridding system, national power gridding system to supply electricity from one place to another place, and you all see near about your house, near about your schools and surroundings, all these types of gridding materials or electricity supply poles are there. See, when we are talking about the conventional and non-conventional resources, first when we are covering conventional sources. How this one implementation? See here, conventional sources of energy are those which have been in common use for a long time. कॉमन यूज में आ रहा है, बहुत लंबे समय से काम में आ रहा है, तो हम वहाँ पे क्या यूज करते हैं, कन्वेंशनल सोर्सेज. फॉर एन एग्जाम्पल, फायरवुड and fossil fuels are the two main conventional energy resources we are using in our lives, especially in the rural areas. And when we are talking about the firewood, what is this? It is widely used for cooking as well as heating when there is so much cold in the winters, you see the peoples in your surroundings that they are using firewood as the heating purpose, and in the rural areas firewoods are used for the purpose of cooking. In our country, more than 50% of the energy used by villagers come from फायरवुड. और हम अगर गांव की बात करते हैं तो हम क्या देखते हैं कि 50% के आसपास की जो एनर्जी है वो इन फायरवुड से ही मिलती है. मे बी मदर्स, ग्रैंड माज आर कुकिंग and maybe they are heating, maybe they are doing another works, they are using firewood for their day-to-day uses. Remains of the plants and animals which were buried under the earth for millions of years got converted by the heat and pressure into fossil fuels. So what is this fossil fuels? It's okay when we are discussing about firewood, all you know example is clear to you, then it's a another material. लकड़ी है, लकड़ी का यूज हो रहा है. बट वॉट अबाउट फॉसिल फ्यूल्स? फॉसिल फ्यूल्स आर दोज फ्यूल्स विच वर बरीड अंडर द अर्थ for the millions of years, but they got converted into the heat by the heat and pressure. They got converted by the heat and pressure into the fossil fuels. Fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum and natural gas are the main sources of conventional energy. When we are using fossil fuels, then what are the best examples of fossil fuels? See here, coal, petroleum and natural gases are the best examples of fossil fuels or conventional energies. Okay. The next one, the reserves of these minerals are very limited. For what we will do for all these limitations? See here, the rate at which the growing world's population is consuming them is far greater than the rate of their formation. As we all know that we are multiplying. Daily we are multiplying, our population is daily increasing, and all these population are consuming different types of fuels, different types of conventional and non-conventional energy. It's okay, we all know that these are in a very limited way, so these are likely to be exhausted soon also. See here, a woman carrying firewood in the northeast India. अभी भी, ये तो एक एग्जाम्पल है, अभी भी आप देखिए गाँवों में सुबह शाम लड़कियां जो हैं अपने सिर पे लकड़ी का गट्ठर लेके चलती हैं फॉर द पर्पज ऑफ द फायरवुड. ओके, सी all these things are in a very limited way, so it's our duty to save all these things because our world's population is increasing day by day and we are consuming all these our energy sources in a very large way. So it's our duty to control the misuse of all these things. When we are talking about the coal, coal is also the fossil fuel and this is the most abundant found fossil fuel in all over the world. It is used as a domestic fuel in industries such as iron and steel industries, steam engines and to generate electricity also. This one is the main issue. If electricity generation is there, then the use of coal is also there. So coal is used for the purpose of industries, for the purpose of the steam engines and to generate electricity. When we are talking about electricity, then electricity from coal is called thermal power. Thermal power किसको कहेंगे? जब हम देखते हैं कि इलेक्ट्रिसिटी तो बनाई जाती है परंतु उसे कोल की हेल्प से बनाया जा रहा है, then this type of electricity is called thermal power electricity. See here, this one is the example of thermal power electricity, and the coal which we are using today was formed millions of years ago with what? When giant ferns and swamps got buried under the layers of the earth. So the processing of coal is also not easy in between the earth. Coal is therefore referred to as the buried sunshine. When we are discussing about the gained funds and swamps got buried under the layers of the earth, then the another name of the coal is what? The another name of the coal is buried sunshine. The leading coal producers of the world are just we are discussing about the different continents are producing coals, but the best examples of leading coal producers are China, USA, Germany, Russia, South Africa and France. See here, the coal producing areas in India also are very important, and in Raniganj, Jharia, Dhanbad and Bokaro in Jharkhand are the main areas covering for the producing of coals. Okay, see, this one is the next resource we are discussing in this chapter, and this resource includes petroleum. How petroleum is using in our day-to-day life? Yes, we are using petrol for the transportation purpose. The petrol that keeps your car running as well as the oil that keeps your cycle from squeaking. Both begin as a thick black liquid called पेट्रोलियम. सी हेयर क्रूड ऑयल जिसको अपन बोलते हैं. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या देखते हैं, अगर साइकिल में बहुत भारीपन आ गया है, आप साइकिल चला रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे भी किसका यूज़ किया जा रहा है स्क्विकिंग से बचने के लिए? पेट्रोलियम का, क्रूड ऑयल का यूज़ किया जा रहा है. एंड इन पेट्रोल आल्सो इन कार्स, in buses, in other transport areas we are using petrol. It is found where? Where is petroleum found? Petroleum is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. So this one is the findings of the petroleum, and this is then sent to the refineries. It's a long process for making petroleum. First of all, it found in the roll and drilled from the oil fields, and after that what happened? All these things sent to the refineries which process the crude oil and produce a variety of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastics and lubricants. Different types of things, not a single thing. Different products are made up by the refineries, and they checkle out the diesel, petroleum, kerosene from all these things. And what is the important thing? Petroleum and its derivatives are called black gold. Petroleum को क्या कहा जाता है बच्चों? Black गोल्ड कहा जाता है, काला सोना, as they are very valuable to all of us. See the high prices of the petrol and diesels. Students, when we are talking about coal, we call them buried sunshine, but when we are talking about petroleum, its another name is black gold. Why there is another name black gold is there? Because it is as valuable as the gold. And the chief petroleum producing countries are what? See, Iran, in Iraq, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. These are the main producing countries of petroleum. The other major producers are USA, Russia, Venezuela and Algeria also. But the main petroleum producers are Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia and Qatar. The leading producers in India are also Digboy in Assam, Bombay High in Mumbai and the deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. So, we found petroleum in India also in some places, but again we have a humble request to all of you and your parents and society that save all these resources, because these are in a very limited way. So, it's our moral duty to save, to conserve all these resources. We will continue our chapter reading session in our next part. Stay with us. Have a nice day.